We have a great show tonight. We're going to look at the difference between biaxial Medeco and Bilevel. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Mike with Door Lock Tips. What's the difference between the two? M3 Bilevel and just an M3, so this is biaxial. What's the difference between the two? I had to do a call in to Medeco, and they're going to get back with me. This is going to blow your brain out. We already know the bottom pins are different. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to pull apart the first chamber closest to the key shoulder, first chamber, and I'm going to show you the difference between the pins. But you're going to have to stick with me a little bit here. I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your brain out. Maybe you guys will figure it out. I don't know. Here's a clue. Both these pins should be the same height. Don't you think? Medeco guys couldn't figure it out. They're going to get with the guy that designed the whole system, a new guy on the block because Medeco's quite old. They're going to find out why something is different. And it's going to astound you. Here, we're going to get into it. Okay, so you can cut the same key, forward and aft cuts, and it'll work in the biaxial cylinder, which is the M3. See that M3 on there? Or you can use the half the price Bilevel system, which I highly recommend. Use this on the interior and use these on the outside because these have bearings in them. These are really, high-end stuff. Use the chisel point bottom key pins and all that good stuff. So now let's see the difference. I've got the Bilevel. So we're going to pull apart the first chamber on both of these. The front of this is bigger than the other one. And that might actually be what's happening. I can't be for sure about this, but there's a reason why there's different sizes, guys. And there shouldn't be. These should be identical. I'll get to it. I can't wait to tell you. I'm dying to tell you what I discovered. So here's the key. Forward and aft cuts. So let's pull apart the very first chamber in both of these. You have just a clip that holds it, and the springs are right underneath there, and there are 6 pins. So let's pull this apart. We don't want the spring to go flying because it will. It's under tension. So there we are. We pull this slightly back. All right, now we have the first, and this is the M3. We have the first chamber accessible. It's the same spring in both kits. I have 2 kits, a Bilevel and a biaxial kit. So the springs are interchangeable. So let's go ahead and knock these pins out. So here's our biaxial pin, and this is a number 1. There's the number 1, and it's a chisel point. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So it's a chisel point. So we'll go ahead and lay this right here. And then we have a number 3 master wafer. Yeah, it's still a pin, master wafer pin. And then we have a mushroom-shaped top driver. So there's the mushroom. So there we have that. So that's the number 1, the first chamber. Now let's pop open the Bilevel. Okay, there's our spring. Same size spring. Same setup for the plug. They're identical setups for the plug. I just have a tailpiece in this. You have tailpieces that come in the box. They're in a bag. Because you never know what size tailpiece. You may need a long one, you may need a short one. So they give you a bunch of different sizes. 5 different tailpieces. All right, now let's pop out these pins. Same Same setup here. We have a number 3 master wafer. Stick it right by the other one. We have a number 4 mushroom top driver. Identical. And here's the difference. There is our Bilevel. There's no cut in there, so there's no side little slot, and this just drops down in. Let's hold them side by side. So there is the conical pin. This is Bilevel, and this is biaxial. And this has a slot down the side of it. So cut does. And there is a little notch that sticks out. And this Bilevel is just round. We're getting close to the answer, guys. Why are these different heights? They shouldn't be. They should be exact. But let me tell you what's going on. Now, here's the quandary. You guys tell me. The only thing I can think of, guys, is that some way it has to do with the face of these plugs being different. That's the only thing different. So I'm going to say that's what it is. This is thicker, so it holds the key out further, and it may push. Let me tell you what's going on. I'll just show you. All right, these are brand new Toyo veneer calipers with carbide tips. Okay, this thing is rock solid, and they're 6 inches in length. I love them. I just got them. I splurged because my 4-inchers seemed to be flexing for some odd reason, and I couldn't get a firm measurement. I could actually change it by 3/1000ths, and I didn't like that. So let's measure the length on these. Are from the factory correct? So this one comes out to be, it's a number 1. A number 1, it's 224, and according to the measurement, it's supposed to be 223, so I'm just not pushing on it hard enough. You're supposed to measure in the back part of your jaws, by the way. 223, right on. Right on. You're not supposed to measure out at the tip. You're supposed to measure as far back by the beam. All right, so there we have it. This is correct. 220. Remember this. This measurement is 223. Very close, right? 223. Now, you would expect, I mean, anybody would expect, the chisel key pin should be the same. It should be 223, shouldn't it? I would think. Wouldn't you say 223? But it's not. How can that be? I mean, if we have all the drivers all the same, and all the master pins are all the same, how can the bottom key pins be different? And by the way, I checked something. I checked to see if it fit in the cut. If there was a gap in this cut, and this actually goes all the way down, guys. There's no gap. And the same with this number 6. It goes all the way down. There's no gap. I was figuring that's where the 5/1000ths is. I can't figure it out. And neither can tech support. So what could it be? So we have these, the Bilevel, biaxial. You can see the difference in the pins. The pin is really our difference. And the plugs, notice this is the M3. There's a little cut, square cut in the chamber right here. That cut, and it makes this notch go down in that cut. There's a little divot sticking out there. Did you see that? See that little divot? It goes down in the notch. And if I try to put this down, let's say, I want to try to save money and put it down in here, it will not go down, guys. Same width, but it won't go down because there's no cutout for the notch. so it just can't go down. So there's our difference in plugs. So it's the thickness in the front that I'm thinking creates the difference. It holds the key out, which they said is going to be aft, all aft in the bilevel, all aft. So maybe by holding the key out a little bit, it makes it right on the back part of the cut and pushes the key up by 5 thousandths. And that's the only thing I can think. And the other one has the key in the dead center position of the pin, and it just goes down to the bottom. Well, there's the question. I'll put it out to you. Our number 6 pin is 348, and the number 6 pin in the biaxial is actually 653, so it's 5 thousandths difference. There's the difference between these two. Otherwise, are identical. They both have a sidebar inside them. Bilevel is not hardened inside as far as something to drill through here, whereas the biaxial has a pin. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, see it drilled in there, so there's a case hardened little pin that goes in here. I'm thinking, or it holds a ball bearing. Something. I haven't drilled one to find out. They're so expensive, man. These are very expensive. So there's the difference. Maybe you've never seen the difference of these, and I'm at a quandary to know why the pins are 5 thousandths difference. Use my key machine, have the tolerances perfect on that key machine. They will not work in this. So the keys have to be dead on. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We get to see difference bilevel versus biaxial. And there is a huge difference. It's that bottom pin. The plug has a slot cut in there. And the plugs on the bilevel versus biaxial, they're thicker face. So the key actually stays out further on the bilevel. It stays out further than it does on the biaxial because it's a thinner face. Wow, wow, what a bunch of beautiful parts to work with. I didn't tell you the beauty of using a bilevel. I should say that. Why would you ever want to use bilevel? Well, first of all, save some money. And I highly recommend you put the M3, which is this one right here, on the outside of the building. Or any M3 cylinders. You may have some mortise cylinders. Because this is the highest end, really unpickable. And it has the forward and aft cuts. It takes advantage of the forward and aft cuts. Whereas the bilevel does not take advantage of those cuts. But if you want to trade up in the future, you don't have to change your key. You cut your key on these forward and aft cuts, and you just change out this cylinder and put in an M3 cylinder on the inside if you want to make it super high security inside, wherever you want to change out. And this key will work on a bilevel or biaxial, saving a ton of money using the bilevel, but you can use the same key for both. Isn't this cool? Same key works. Wow. Same key works in both cylinders. So there you have it, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, and I'll have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Thanks, guys. So if you do have an answer on why this 5,000 difference between the bilevel, which is the cheaper, and the biaxial that is the most expensive, why is that pin, the Bilevel 5000, smaller? I don't get it. It has to be the front of that plug. Please let me know in the comment section, and I will have a future video when tech support gets back with me to tell me exactly how they designed that and why those two pins that should match and give you the same shear line, why they're different. Okay, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends. I have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Thanks, guys.